Your brain is primarily interested in logic and reasoning. Its purpose is to make sense of this world, to keep time for you, and to make things relevant to you. Your brain is like a learning chronometer. It has a lifespan, but mind does not. Channeling is interested in mind. The brain is a temporary filing cabinet where channeling can be filed. But because it did not originate in this reality, the brain is never quite sure how to classify channeling or where to store it. This is advantageous. With humor, we can say that channeling remains free to radicalize old beliefs and patterns and to set them free. Thus, it is one of the reasons that channeling works so well for the channeler as well as those who receive the messages. So what does the brain think about channeling? It doesn't really, but it does recognize it as non-threatening communication. To the brain, channeling is both familiar and foreign, like a Zen koan or an unsolvable paradox. While the mind thrives on puzzles, the brain does not. It has too much else to process, and thinking about channeling uses up too much energy. So to conserve energy, the brain turns the entire subject over to mind. You may experience this as a temporary zoning out because there is a slight gap during the exchange. There is also a good reason to enjoy a quiet moment or a meditation before channeling begins. The brain and mind truly are a team, at least they are meant to be. So the brain will move into the background and take its busy think thoughts with it. And to aid in the transition, the channeler or spirit teacher often sends comfort to the brain. For instance, it may transmit words such as, "This activity is welcome," or "Enjoy the nourishment." And sometimes it is just one word, such as rest. The higher mind almost instantly recognizes the vibration called channeling. Like an ancient echo, it invokes memories of home. It does not matter who the teacher is or even the depth of the message. To bask in the vibration called home is enough. That is why channelers often record teaching sessions, because later it may be difficult to remember that word beads were strung onto sentence necklaces in a specific order. And this is as it should be. The receiving of channeling is challenging for those whose forgetting has dropped below a certain frequency. They often experience a power struggle over words or over the entire activity. It is like someone who convinces himself that he cannot be hypnotized, and meanwhile he is hopping on one foot and reciting a love poem to a stranger he has never met. This does not prevent channeling from being received, but it falls under the jurisdiction of the unconscious instead of the conscious unconscious, where it would be more useful.